Hey LinkedIn friends, so yesterday I posted a video in response to the question I've been getting a lot lately, which is LinkedIn dying? And if you didn't see this video, I'm going to put a link down in the comments below so that you can watch it. Basically, I give you a really detailed explanation about how LinkedIn has changed since it was built and why it is no longer a social network. Some people get to use it successfully as a social network, but overall, it is now a social marketplace. And you need to understand the key difference around that. Do you still need to be on it? Yes, and I explain why in that video. But you need to understand how that changes your strategy and how you use LinkedIn. And so that's in that video. And one thing I want to say is that, if you don't believe me that LinkedIn is a social marketplace, then I really encourage you to take a look at Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk is known as like the social media marketer of the world. He has a $100 million company called VaynerMedia. He is an authority on social media. And right now he's talking nonstop about LinkedIn as the most undervalued place for people to do organic content and to build their businesses. So social media marketing. He is saying it is the #1 platform. And so that just proves the point that it is not a social network. Now, in the video yesterday, I told you that today I was going to tell you about the future and why I'm so excited about it. Because we have LinkedIn to thank for it. We have LinkedIn, we have Facebook, we have Twitter. All of the original social media platforms have helped pave the way for what is going to be truly powerful, almost social media 2.0. And for that, we should be eternally grateful. So one of the things that I mentioned yesterday was about this idea that LinkedIn understands that people aren't connecting the way they should anymore on LinkedIn. 660 million people and counting. So people are on there free, and when it's free, you're the product, and they're not connecting with one another anymore, and it's a lot of work. If you do get people to connect, I'm talking you have to put mega hours and investment into LinkedIn, and for some people that's awesome. That's their business model. It's what they want to do. But for a lot of us out there, that's not what we want to do. It's too time intensive. We want a better, more efficient way to network and connect, because you know what? Your network is your net worth these days. Every job is temporary. We live in a gig economy. The world is changing. And 80% of all jobs are gotten via referral. It's who you know. And so to expand your network and to build a network that will enable you to tap into opportunities is a #1 career priority today. If you are not doing that, you are putting your career at risk. I see it each and every day. People come into the Work It Daily platform, they've lost their job, and they don't have a network to mobilize. And that is not the time to need a network. So we all know that. And we need to do something about it, but we need an efficient way to do it because it's work. And we don't want to spend hours and hours every day on a tool like LinkedIn trying to build a network, right? Okay, so what happens next? Well, we start to realize that a more efficient way to network is to go to a place where there are a lot of people who have the same interests, whether it's in our industry, our skill set, whatever. We know that when people come together and geek out on something, by default, we're all interested in the same subject. We feel more naturally connected to one another. It's easier to network. So it should not surprise you that LinkedIn has launched events. Makes total sense. Now you can create free events on LinkedIn and bring like-minded people together. Awesome. So needed. Fantastic. And these are far more powerful than, say, groups on LinkedIn. Groups are just where people are kind of sharing content information. There's not a lot of meaningful connection going on in groups, especially free groups. There's some enthusiasts on there, but for the most part, there's just a lot of people hanging back. They're a member of the group, but they don't participate. They have no skin in the game. Events are different. You're making a conscious effort to block your time to go and attend an event with a bunch of like-minded people. This is awesome. And this is now available on LinkedIn. But it's not going to be enough. And this is just what we have to understand. That's still not going to be enough to fix your networking problem, because you still have to make the time. If the time slot doesn't work for you, you miss out. And candidly, these people come together and maybe you get lucky and network with a few of them, but then they dissipate and there's no connection. They're not coming back together on a regular basis. There's no skin in the game other than that night. They don't have to even connect with you. It's still kind of free form. But that's okay because, it's a free service. And what did we say? When it's free, you're the product. So it's still valuable, but it's not going to be enough. That's why I'm so excited about the future. LinkedIn has paved the way for what is called micronets. Micronets are going to be the biggest thing you've seen within the next 2 years. Mark my words. Gary Vee is always giving predictions about social media. Remember that JT O'Donnell told you about the future of micronets and how they're going to explode. And while I wish I was some kind of visionary, I'm just going off of pure logic and history. So let me walk you through that. So you know that Facebook and LinkedIn are essentially the white pages and the yellow pages from 50, 60 years ago. They're just a sophisticated online version of that. And now we've got all this technology that lets us create events and do things online. This has been a wonderful learning curve. Over the last 10 years, we've all come to learn how to use social media. It's not foreign to us anymore. And we know it's got value, but there's also been a lot of frustration around it, right? We've had Facebook in the news a lot for all of the manipulation of ad campaigns and news, fake news, that sort of thing. Other platforms are not going to be immune to that, right? As LinkedIn gets bigger, you're going to have more and more messages in there. It's very likely there'll be fake news and fake information in our feeds there as well. That's just a hazard that comes with building these wonderful platforms that are used to us. But we want something more. We want social media 2.0. We still need social networking because it's not happening anymore on those platforms. We need social networking. And we know how to do it, but we need some guidelines and we need some context and we need some framework. And that's what a micronet does for you. That's why these are going to explode. So think about associations. Think about chambers of commerce. Why did those start to formulate over the years? Because they realized an event wasn't enough. We need to bring this tribe of people together so they could meet on a weekly basis, so they could get to know each other, so that they could network and connect with one another. This is why associations are such a big deal, and they could do annual conferences and speaking events. They bring those people together, they form a bond, they form a tribe. Problem with associations, brick and mortar associations, is you got to physically attend, right? It's got to be in your local area, or you're going to get on a plane and spend lots of extra money to go to the national conference. Not always conducive to our lifestyle. And we live in a digital world. So we want that virtual experience. We want that virtual association, that virtual club. That's what a micronet is. And the beautiful part about this is I've been waiting for this technology for a decade. I knew the business that I wanted to build, Work It Daily, 10 years ago. I wanted to build a micronet so that I could drop the geographic boundaries and the economic boundaries for people all over the world to get the career coaching they need, to be part of a team where they were all leveling up, players who wanted to help each other grow their careers and really become strong in their space and have that job security in the sense that they always knew how they were going to get their next job. So for the last 10 years, I have been patiently waiting for the day when this amazing technology would finally hit. And we've been piecing it together with blogs, and Slack and all these other technologies. But now this year, technology has dropped that lets you have a micronet. We have built Work It Daily on a micronet platform that is unreal. We have our own app in the iOS and Android store. Our people are on there every day. We have an 87% engagement rate. Our members are chatting with one another. They're networking by industry, by job type. They're attending events with one another. They're working with career coaches one-on-one, direct messaging, getting their LinkedIn profiles reviewed, their resumes reviewed, all these sorts of things. Everything I ever wanted to do in a micronet so that the time you spend on social media was worthy and valuable and that you left it feeling, more empowered and better than you started. That's the power of a micronet. Now, in my case, it's a micronet that we've built where we want to pick up where LinkedIn leaves off. We love LinkedIn. We have an entire module, set of video tutorials, and an entire staff supporting people on how to optimize their LinkedIn profiles and get the most mileage out of them and build their plans. And we have all sorts of levels of people who want to, be top influencers on LinkedIn versus they just want their LinkedIn profile to look okay. So we love that, but there's no place to do that on LinkedIn effectively. Otherwise, you're getting slammed with ads and you're weeding through, feeds and you're trying to deal, with advice, that's just kind of out there. A micronet lets you get the interaction, the meaningful conversations you need to move forward. And in this case, move forward on LinkedIn and in your career. But there's going to be a million micronets in the next 2 years. There will be a micronet for everything. Anything that you want to do better on in your life, anything you want to work it daily on in your life, there's going to be a micronet for that. I am not joking. It is going to explode. And for anyone listening right now, if you have an idea for a micronet, if you're saying, gee, JT, that makes sense. I want to take the best of an association and the best of a group, and I want to build this opportunity for people to really invest time, online and get something out of it, guess what? There's a micronet you could build too. And the technology is there, people. I mean, this technology is so slick and easy to use and intuitive because we've all been using social media. So trust me when I say the good news is, thanks to LinkedIn, thanks to this process, micronets are our future. And micronets, they're pay to play, right? So you pay a small fee like an app, right? You pay a small fee, monthly fee, and you get access to all this, but that means no ads, no people trying to sell you stuff, and no people, just there being snarky. There's no snark in a paid micronet because people paid. They want to be there. They want to be positive. They want to get stuff done. It's relevant. It's just everything about a micronet is more efficient, more powerful. And so I can't say enough about this. This is the future. If you're not exploring micronets, you should be. Whatever it is in your life you're trying to improve upon, you should be thinking about these micronets because you'll literally have the most amazing group of peers and professionals in your back pocket for whatever you're doing. And if you're interested in this and you want to understand how micronets work, and you're saying, okay, she might be onto something, but I don't know, I want you to experience it. I want you to see what it's like. So here's one thing that you can do. We set up a free trial, 3-day free trial, just so people can get in and understand it. So if this made sense to you, go in and see what the Work It Daily micronet is like as an example. You can see just how cool these are going to be. And I predict in the next 2 years, we're going to be talking about the fact that, what micronets are you a member of? Well, I'm a member of these 6 micronets. And you'll learn about new ones. You'll drop your old ones. Micronets, my friends, mark my words, they are the future. It is social networking. It is truly the real deal. The thing that we wanted that went away from us, right? That we can now get back, and it's going to be highly customized. It is absolutely awesome. The value people are going to get out of their micronets is crazy, and I guess that's why I'm just so glad. I know some people worry about social media and the effect it's having on our youth and our population as a whole. I get it, but I think we've been through a learning curve with social media. We've been just trying to understand its use and figuring it out. We are a smart group of people. The human race is an awesome group of people who ultimately loves each other and wants to work with one another. We're going to figure this social thing out. And that's again why I get excited about these micronets. They're the future. I'm hanging out every day inside Work It Daily with thousands of people who want to grow their careers, who are positive about it, who want to help each other grow their careers, and who want to celebrate their successes and just have more joy and satisfaction in their life. I don't need 660 million people in this micronet. I don't want 660 million people in this micronet. I just want the same people with the same values who want to come together and have some fun while they're elevating their careers. And I know that's going to work in every other industry too. So, okay, I know that was a lot to take in. Thank you for letting me rant. If you've got questions about micronets, put them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them for you. If you want to see what a micronet's like, you know what to do. I'll put the link below. You can try us out for free just to see what it's like. But folks, mark my words, this is the future, and that's a good thing because it's going to make our time on social media that much more effective. All right. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon with another video. Take care.